Hey, what is up guys, it's Galaxy Tech Dartwood here, coming at you guys today with a brand new update to my Galaxy Eyes Hieratic Reckless Summon deck, whatever the name is. I call it Reckless Summon Hieratics, or Hieratic Reckless Summon, or whatever. So yeah, the last update was, last time I did this deck profile, it was quite popular, and I did a couple of updates to it because it wasn't quite as rounded as I'd hoped it was, and now it is, and I'm ready to profile it again. So I've added a couple of cards, I've taken out a couple of cards, I've made the deck a bit more consistent, and I hope you enjoy the deck profile. So yeah, so we start off with the 3 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, of course, because this is mainly what the deck is about, other than Dark Matter Dragon, of course. It's so great to use this card because when you summon it with Hieratic Dragon, King of Atom, you can, because it will have 0 attack points when its summon resolves, you can, if your opponent controls a monster, then you can chain Inferno Reckless Summon to its summon, and you can grab the other 3 copies, and that enables you to make a whole load of rank 8 plays. Or you can push for quite a nice OTK, because if your opponent controls an Exceeds monster, they won't be able to summon out multiple copies of it. But if it's from the main deck, then you know they will. So yeah. Then playing 3 copy for the Hieratic Engine, playing 3 copies of Tefnuit, of course, because this is generally your opening play if you're going second. Otherwise, it's Eset if you're going first. And then we've got 3 copies of Hieratic Dragon of Su. This is generally where you make your rank 6 plays between Tefnuit and this. Then playing 3 copies of Nebthet and 3 copies of Eset. This card actually gains a bit more usability here because it allows you to extend with rank 6 and rank 8 plays. So it's really quite good at that. And also you can synchro, although I'm not exact. The extra deck space is really tight in this deck, so there's only one synchro. Then playing 1 copy of Hieratic Dragon of Gebeb because it's a normal summon. You can still tribute it for things like Su and Nebthet, and you get its effect, but you only get you get its tribute effect, but you only get it with your with a normal Hieratic monster. So that is your Seal of the Sun Dragon Overlords. Then playing 1 Dragard because you can make your synchro player with it between that and Labradorite Dragon to go for Dragositis, however you pronounce it. Then 1 copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to finish off the monsters. Well, the effect monsters. I'm not playing Eclipse Wyvern because it's, although the plays revolve kind of around Dark Matter Dragon, there is no way to make allow Eclipse Wyvern plays with Darkness Metal Dragon without adding things like White Dragon, Wyverbuster, and Black Dragon, Collapse Serpent, which makes the deck really cloggy, and that's not what this deck is about. It's not all about Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. It's about Dark Matter Dragon and crippling your opponent's deck and being fun as well. So yeah. Then for the vanillas, I'm actually playing 4, which I think is the maximum you can and minimum you can really play before it starts getting cloggy. So yeah, playing 2 copies of Labradorite Dragon. I was very tempted to cut down on these because I generally don't use all of them, but the vanillas are also Dark Matter fodder to just send to the graveyard. So yeah, and then 2 copies of my lovely altered art Sun Dragon Overlord seals. These just really good for your rank 6 plays. So yeah, that rounds off the monsters. I do believe there are 22 in total. So yeah, getting onto the spells, playing 3 copies of Convocation, your rotor of the deck. Have to play these to search out all the Hieratic monsters possible. Then playing 3 copies of Inferno Reckless Summon. So this is the one of my favourite cards in the entire deck, because you basically, what you do with this is it only works with your opponent when your opponent controls a monster that's face up. You have to go for your Hieratic Dragon King of Atom. You detach material to summon a Galaxy Eyes from your deck, and then you use Inferno Reckless Summon, get the rest of the Galaxy Eyes, and you can then go for things like Neo Galaxy Eyes, or you can go for Prime Photon or Tachyon. And you can then extend into with things like Full Armor Photon Dragon and your Dark Matter Dragon as well. So yeah, that's why I like playing Inferno Reckless Summon. It just provides a whole ton of fun for the deck, in my opinion. Because this is such a small engine, and we are going for rank 8s, I have actually put another small sort of engine in there. Shout out to my brother, who also happens to be Purple Dragon Nuke, a Minecraft YouTuber, for this idea, sort of. Running 3 copies of Astral Force in this deck, because you can either go for a Gaia Charger when you've used your Atom, or you can use Rank Up Magic Astral Force and go for any rank 8 light dragon types, in which there are quite a few. So you've got your Tachyon, you've got your Tachyon Dragon, you've got your Prime Photon Dragon, you've even got Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and you've also got him as well, your Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. So yeah, this also adds more fun to the deck. It just provides another way to make rank 8 plays out of cards that you've used already. So yeah. And then for consistency, playing 3 copies of Upstart Goblin. I drop the trade in because I don't draw it as often. So yeah. And then 3 MST, of course, Hieratics. It's just a staple in this deck. And then playing 2 copies of Forbidden Lance, just to help your plays go off if you go against something with a lot of back row. And 1 Wingbeat, just in case there is a deck with a lot of back row. I would play more, but there aren't actually, aside from Satellas, there's not that much in the meta that actually runs a whole wodge of traps. So yeah, that rounds off the main deck. I'm also not playing any Jin outs, as you may have noticed, because it's such a rare thing that I actually come across. I barely ever come across any people who actually manage to Jin lock me. So yeah, until the day comes that I get Jin locked every game, I'm probably not going to be too worried about Jin lockouts. So yeah, for the extra deck, playing 2 copies of Dark Matter Dragon. This is one of the best Xyz monsters in this deck. So easy to make, and it cripples your opponent's deck. And it's not as great without the Dragon Rulers, but you can still dump just all the vanillas in your deck into the graveyard, or just any useless Hieratic monsters, and you have a 4000 beat stick. And if your opponent's got more than 1 monster, you can also use this effect and attack them multiple monsters. So that's great. And then playing 2 copies of Full Armor Photon Dragon. Now, I do love this card as well. It's really good for monster removal and just an extra Xyz material, I guess. And then playing only 1 Prime Photon, because I do like this card and its effect in the battle phase, but I do generally go into this main lead so that I can just go for full armor and then your Dark Matter Dragon. So yeah. And then playing 1 Tachyon Dragon, because there's just not enough space in here for 2. But it is really fun to play this card. It really does jam up some plays. Things like El Shaddai Construct cannot get over this card. So yeah. Then playing 1 copy of Neo Galaxy Eyes. Generally this is here for your rank up plays, but it's also there for your rare instance of you get your 3 copies of Photon Dragon on the field, and you decide you want to go for Neo Galaxy Eyes instead. Because its effect can be quite crippling when it's summoned with using Galaxy Eyes as a material. it can negate all cards on the field, like all other face-up cards on the field. So yeah, and it is 4,500 points, and if your opponent's got loads of Xyz materials, you can use this effect as well. But generally I use it for rank up plays so that you can just go for full armour and Dark Matter Dragon. So then for the non-Galaxy Eyes engine, playing 1 copy of Felgrand and 1 copy of Heliopolis as well to round that off. And then for the rest of the deck, I guess rank 7s, I'm playing 2 copies of Gaia Charger. They're not ultimate and I'm upset about that, but you know, such is life. Then playing 2 copies of Atom because you need this to make your plays go off with Galaxy Eyes. And I mean, if the worst comes to worst, you can just use this card and use this deck as a regular Hieratic Dragon deck to push for regular OTKs. Because you can make this go for Gaia Charger, go for your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and yeah. And then playing 1 copy of Ptolemy M7 because it's an extra rank 6, just in case you find yourself in a situation where your atoms just do not help you, and you really need to get something out, a roadblock out of your opponent's field. This is definitely the card to do it. Or if you want to put your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon back in hand and resummon it, and just extend your plays more, this is great. And then for the 1 synchro, I'm playing 1 Dragocytus. You make this with your Dragard and Labradorite play, and it is really good. I mean, 4,000 attack points is never a bad thing. I don't generally use this effect, but when I do, it's great. So yeah. So that is the deck profile, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you test it out and have fun playing it. It's so fun to play, in my opinion. I mean, it's not the most competitive thing in the world, but with the addition of Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon, this deck is really fun, and I shall try and upload some videos of me playing this deck online as soon as possible. I just need to get things like a good microphone, because the last couple of videos I've done that involve me in a microphone have not been that great, actually, because the microphone is just horrible that I'm using at the moment. So yeah. Yeah, I'm also planning to do a Shadol update soon, depending on what the ban list does to them, if it does anything at all, or if we even get a ban list. So yeah, stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like button, don't forget to comment and subscribe as well. Peace out.